Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Black Belt Business. I'm coming to you from Nassau Island, Paradise Island in Nassau, Bahamas. I was lucky enough to bring me and my family down here for a University of Kentucky basketball game. And we got invited to a private practice, watching the team practice the day before. And by watching the team practice, a couple things were really impressed upon me that I wanted to share with you that coincide and correlate with our business directly. The first thing was just the efficiency that John Calipari had with his team when they were working in the practice itself. Now, how we practice, yes, of course, we should have team practices with our staff members, especially, if you've got a good-sized school or multiple schools like we run with Premier Martial Arts. But just the overall efficiency, it was work all the time. There was no downtime. It was organized. The team worked hard. The coaching staff worked hard. I was just amazed at the fluidity and how fast the action went and how much they got done during their practice, which brings me to talk about our staff meetings. There's so many different ways to do staff meetings, depending upon the size of your team. We run 5 corporate schools in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then, of course, we have 82 premier martial arts schools across the United States. So the system that we kind of use is we'll have staff meetings on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. We'll make that short and sweet. We have an outline of exactly what we're going to do. Then if things are going great, that's all the staff meetings we have. If things aren't going well and we need to call an impromptu Friday meeting, we will, so we get back on track. That's just good for us. And we feel like that is organized and what we discuss. Certain things we discuss on Mondays, certain things we discuss on Wednesdays. Then after that, we go in and we work out with our team and we practice our curriculum and we talk about the classroom floor. So again, all of that can happen in an hour, hour and a half with even a good physical workout for your staff members. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. I didn't say to have a staff meeting for an hour and a half. That's including physical martial arts, punching and kicking and kickboxing and sparring and training. The actual meeting, sitting down at the conference table with your team planning, it depends on what you got to get done, where you are in your goals for the month. But a good staff meeting can easily be done in 30 minutes, right? The next thing that really was exciting that I saw is he talked about stats and numbers throughout. He's talking to the team members about their shooting and their free throw percentages, and this, you need to do this, and so forth. And he constantly was using real numbers that happened in the last game, real numbers as averages of the team of how they are in their performance. Certain players averaged so many rebounds, certain players had a certain 3-point percentage shot, which I thought was exciting because statistics are so important in our business or any business, because it allows us to pay attention to what's going on, to see if we're on the right track. If we notice through statistics we're not, then we can make subtle changes to get back on track. It allows us to set goals and reach those goals. Now, there was a couple statistics that I heard him talk about, and it was winning stats on shooting. He talked about if Kentucky ever shoots 50%, they crush the other team no matter what, right? But they also have to know how to win at shooting a low 32%, right? They still have to be able to win, and that's the mark of a really good team in a lot of other areas besides shooting that can win with a 32% shooting percentage. Now, that struck upon me and made me think about, your sign-up percentages. That's our real winning percentages, is our sign-up percentages and our upgrade percentages. Now, everybody likes to think, and I hear school owners say this all the time to me, once I get them in the door, we sign up everybody when they come in the door. Well, you think that in your mind, and I'm not saying that anybody's not being honest. I'm just saying it's not realistic that you're signing up everybody that comes through the door. Now, especially Mr. School Owner, if you're the main guy at your school and you're doing everything, you probably are at a pretty high percentage because it's all about you. When you start having multiple locations or want multiple locations, you have to start trying to win with people less than you or people that perform less than you, and I think that, like John Calipari is talking about the 50%, they win big if they hit 50%. I honestly think we win big if we hit 50%. And we start with looking at the number of introductory lessons that we've got scheduled. So we're all about lead generation. Predicting lead generation can be difficult. Yes, there's websites and companies out there that are doing an amazing job at scheduling intros and even selling those intros online. But still, that can be unpredictable. You just need a lot of good lead generation things happening out there. You need to be doing your birthday parties. You need to do occasional promotional booths at big events in your city. You do need to have the websites that's generating leads and selling your introductory lessons online. You need to do all of the different lead generation actions, your mass intros and so forth. But where we can really put pen to the paper is the number of introductory lessons that we schedule in a given week for some time in the future. We just know that by scheduling, let's say 7 introductory lessons or 8 introductory lessons a week, we know that half of those are going to show up and half of those are going to sign up, right? So if your percentages are, let's say 16, you need 16 intros scheduled in a week because 8 of them are going to show up, 4 of them are going to sign up, and those 4 per week gives you the number that you need to hit your goals for your new sign-up goals for the month. So doing that 50%, understanding that 50% is not failing. We're so used to hearing guys on the internet and school owners and people talking about, wow, we hit 80%, we're 85%, we're 95% on sign up, and good if you are. But when I talk to the average school owner, they're not 85% on sign up procedures from the intro. 50% is okay if you're doing enough numbers and volume to make 50% a winning number for you. So again, great at lead generation, scheduling enough introductory lessons, right, to understand that 20 intros in a week gives you 10 people show up, gives you 50% of those sign up, gives you 5 for a week, and if your goal is 20, that gives you 20 new students for the month. That's how we simply look at it, and it makes those numbers easy. But just because you're hitting 50% doesn't mean you're not going to be a winner. It's actually probably a realistic winning number. Now, one more thing was that he talked about, you have to be able to win when we only shoot 32%. And that's all the other things that you have to do to be able to win, even though you're shooting badly that game. So think about it. Not every month is a great month. You have to have systems in place where when the month is not going great, you still can win. And going back to the lead generation, if you master the concept of lead generation, you're doing your Facebook advertising, you're doing your Google AdWords with the other stuff that I mentioned before in this video, you're doing all of those things, you can up the level of intros that you schedule. You do good phone call procedures. You have people making phone calls and scheduling those appointments. Yes, and you're selling them online. You can do all of those things, and if you put those systems together, you can make adjustments when things aren't going well. When you're not shooting well, or you're not getting an influx of leads through your website, or your sign-up procedures are not high, boom, you can go back to those lead generation systems and get cranking and get working and get creative and generate more leads and start the system all over again. So either way, we become, whether we're shooting bad percentage, we're shooting an average percentage, we're getting a good percentage, we always want to make sure that we end the month with a win. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next time on Black Belt Business.